capable of playing there, and we'll see what he brings as the second half is underway in the first semi-final.
Florence and Howard to resume hostilities in the middle of Preston City Oval. Howard gets the first tap down, but Wallace sharks it well. Gets a handball over to Florence, who handball is intercepted now. Ferronato just shrugs a Chirkop tackle, gets a handball over to Howard, who's going to go laterally to Ham. So on the outer side, Ben Ham, his kick is smothered by a North Heidelberg opponent, and players coming from everywhere. Ham gets a handball to Brindley. Almost goes to 1-2. Ferronato finds its way to Brindley eventually. And now a short kick inside forward 50 just through the hands of McCubbin. McDonald, the skipper, does well for North Heidelberg to get the handball over to Hurt. But he dives on it, and the umpire looks like he's going to call a holding the ball free kick. He is. Hurt just dragged that one in. A good call. And it will be a shot on goal for Greensborough to kick off this second half. And it will be Brody Glenn getting the reward. He had a quiet first quarter, held well by Bailey Wasdorp. Really worked his way into the game in that second quarter, kicking 2 goals, 1. And now has an opportunity to kick the first goal of this second half and extend Greensborough's lead. He's going to have to kick this one from 30 metres out on a very slight angle. We'll have to start it on the left goal post, as we've seen most players do throughout this game at the market end. So Glenn sends it on its way. It's fading right, a bit of a helicopter, and it is just fading too far out to the right-hand side. So another behind for the start Greensborough forward. 2 goals, 2 for the day. First score of the second half goes to Greensborough.
So the Bulldogs will look to clear their lines. McFawn got to the bottom of this pack. It spills out the back of the pack. Walsh was flung. Now the Bulldogs look to push forward, but it's an incorrect disposal on that occasion against Mapleson. One back here by Andronacco. One of the many VFL-listed players on this Greensborough team. Sends a high ball towards half forward for Smith to fly at. Didn't get a hand onto it. Here's Hasler. Emerges with the footy. Found a teammate. They track back to Ferronato. Breaks from the tackle. Payne a 50. Sends it to the top of the goal square. Mark, no, not taken by Bell, so he's under a bit of pressure, but has teammates to support. The Dogs clear it away, and then Harvey, in between 2 Borough players, is able to take the mark. And, well, it's going to be given back to Harvey eventually. He's got it in defensive 50. It's going to spear a ball. A clever kick to Liam Hunt, who's all on his own in the centre square. And now they can get a running game going. Brody White has got options in front and to his left. Ignores both. Sends it inside 50 with the kick. Zach Hart was able to juggle and take the intercept mark, and the Borough will look now to go towards the outer side. Not a great kick, but it gets okay to Brindley. Has some space, decides to kick it towards the McCubbin direction. McCubbin tried to flick it back, but there was no one there except Michael Florence. And he kicks it short to Hunt. He can handball over the top to Wallace, and he's confronted by Ferronato. Great tackle from the young star, and it forces a stoppage in the centre square.
2 absolute balls going at it in the middle of Preston City Oval. It's what we love to see in finals footy. And Florence able to get the tap down to Hunt, who's kick forward, intercepted by Johnston, tackled by Tardio, but it's able to get a handball over to McCubbin. His kick forward in the Howard direction. Wasdorp leading the race, but the boundary line beats all comers. It will be thrown back in on centre wing outer side.
Ferronato, of course, the winner of the Northern Nights Best and Fairest last year, which is named after Brent Harvey, who he's playing against today. He's certainly held his own, not just today, but in a whole season of senior footy. He's been terrific for the Borough, and he's doing so again in today's final. So the ball gets tossed up. It's Howard. That ball not going anywhere, so we'll have a secondary stoppage 4 minutes in. So the third quarter, it's Greensborough that lead by 4 points early in this third term. Rucks go at it again. It's Howard. Almost got to Hunt, and a kick off the ground from Ham. We'll see the Bulldogs win possession of this football. His defensive side of the wing is Liam Hunt. Wants to go in the middle of the ground. Too high there for Chircott. Was spoiled away from him. Now to Borough with numbers. Glenn tried to get there. Picked up now by Wallace. Sends a very high ball in between 2 one-on-one contest. Heatley got the handball away. Mapleson will snap towards goal. It's high and it's not accurate. Behind, he had Lockie Smith as an option there. Ignored him. And the margin, Tim, is at 3 points.
You're finding in this game that every time North North Heidelberg can bring the ball to ground inside their forward 50. They're having shots at goal. So if they can keep managing to do that, they give themselves a good chance in this quarter.
Yeah, and Parker Heatley once again bringing that one to ground and handballing off to Mapleson, but couldn't convert as Johnston, his kick out, finds Brindley outside 50. Goes with the handball, and now a kick forward intercepted by Florence. Will send the Bulldogs forward once again. Hunt takes the mark. He's got Tardio running, going to use that option. He'll send it long towards the goal square, and the mark is taken by Parker Heatley. And he'll kick from almost point-blank range, his first goal of this match. 59 goals in 19 games so far in 2024. 12 in his 2 against Greensborough. But hasn't kicked one in the first half. Parker Heatley towards the city end to give North Heidelberg the lead once again in this semi-final. Makes no mistake. North Heidelberg back in front. 8-3, 51 the Bulldogs, leading Greensborough 7-6-48.
And that's up to 8 individual goal kickers now for North Heidelberg. And great there for Parker Heatley. He's competed well all day, but just in that occasion, able to get a proper one-on-one because Greensborough have been trying to have that extra outnumber against him. But in that time, he was just too big and strong, marking at top of the goal square and putting North Heidelberg back in front.
The career high 9 goals against Greensborough back in round 3 did Parker Heatley, so he'll be pleased to get on the board this time around in this final. We're back underway. It's Florence, Hunt. He had the ball taken off him, and it'll be Farinata that kicks towards the wing, where he's got Andronacco, who was able to create some space and measure a ball to Hasler. Called to play on. He's going to take on Florence and Hunt. Hasler now sends this one inside 50 to the McCubbin direction. It's Fisher who was roving, and it's Fisher who's goaling. The immediate reply for Greensborough. That's a 3rd goal of the afternoon for Benjamin Fisher. And just like that, the Borough regain their advantage. 8-6-54 plays 8-3-51. 7.25 minutes gone, 3rd term. What a response from Ben Fisher.
Well, Benjamin Fisher, he hasn't had much of the ball in this match, but when he has, he's made the most of his moments. And what a great finish there, just spearing it inside and giving his side back the lead. Benjamin Fisher is a great target inside forward 50, of course. Just has that little bit of height while also being pretty dynamic with his skills at ground level. And he's really proving to be a threat down there this afternoon.
So 9 goals coming into this game. He's kicked a career-high 3 majors. The non-officiating umpire here has found a free kick going to Greensborough. I'm unsure of what that may have been for, but Nathan Howard's got it. He's going to handball quickly to Aiton Delaney, who sends it towards half forward again, looking for McCubbin. Led strong and marked strong. He's 65 out from goal. Sends it towards half forward, and a great mark by Andronacco. Timed his leap perfectly. He's going to handball it off to Johnston, who's 55 metres out and sets sail for home. Greensborough have kept this ball in play. The Bulldogs have numbers, but Smith somehow managed to burst his way through the tackle, get boot to ball. Greensborough have kicked 2 goals in a minute, and suddenly this lead is at 9 points at the 8.75 minute mark of the 3rd term. 9-6-60 Greensborough. North Heidelberg at 8-3-51. And this has been some couple of minutes from Greensborough.
When you think of Jamie Smith's ability inside forward 50, you think about his leaping marks, his ability to impact the contest. You don't really think about his ability to win a ball in the contest like he did just there and somehow sneak out a goal. So brilliant effort there from Jamie Smith.
Yeah, a brilliant effort, and this is a proper arm wrestle here at Preston City Oval. Greensborough back into the lead by 9 points as the tap comes down towards Wallace for the Bulldogs and straight inside forward 50. Mark taken by Lachlan Smith. So just as you thought Greensborough were wrestled momentum back, it's gone straight back inside forward 50 for North Heidelberg, and Smith will have a chance to kick his first goal of this semi-final.
Did kick one last week against Monty in the final.
And he'll kick from the paint of 50 metres. It's a long, high one just fading out to the right-hand side. So another minor score for North Heidelberg. They move to 8-4-52, trailing Greensborough 9-6-60 as we tick past 10 minutes gone in this second quarter. Johnston on kick-out duties once again for the Borough. He's just going to go with a long one to the outer side. Basically every player on the park out that way. Florence spoils it, brings it down to ground for North Heidelberg. Hunt's in there, or should I say White, but ripped out of his hands by Ferranato and goes with the outside of the boot. Smith with the backhand tap to a teammate who comes to Ferranato, goes over the top, intercepted by Brody White. His handball intercepted by Fisher, who's going to run inside forward 50 and find a target. And it will be another shot on goal for Greensborough. So Jamie Smith doing stuff that a big man just should not do on a football field, and has set up Harrison Andronako to have a shot on goal. He's kicked 5 goals in 8 games so far this season. And this one to make it 3 in a row for the Greensborough Football Club. Starts it out to the left and works it back well right through the middle. And Greensborough out to a 14-point lead in this third quarter, kicking against the breeze. This is just a brilliant performance for the Borough to get on top here.
Greensborough have been brilliant in this quarter, just having the ability to find targets inside forward 50. They've done it time and time again, and you know, they kicked 2 goals against the wind in that first quarter, and now they've kicked 3 against the wind in this third term, and it's just proving to be damaging for North Heidelberg, who just need to keep this margin within wraps.
So 3 straight goals for the Borough. Now the danger signs are starting to appear for North Heidelberg. As Howard, in fact it was Smith doing the ruck work there, was able to try and push it forward. There's Smith again. He's able to thump it towards half forward. Almost got to Glenn, but it's going to be Florence who sends it inside. Walsh! Lovely mark in the one-on-one. He finds Lockie Hill. He goes towards half forward. It's going to sit in the air. Not great for Blakely, but Bulldogs with numbers. Maynard. He's able to find Jake Brown, and then they are able to go towards defensive side of the wing. Jobby can't get off the tackle, and umpire says holding the footy. Jobby just tried to fight his way from the tackle, but was unsuccessful, and Panham now receives the footy forward of the wing on the outer side. It's the Borough that have had an electric 5 minutes, and they're going to go again. That's a very high ball inside 50. It hangs in the air for nobody except Liam Hunt, who will try and get things going, and he just says, I've had enough. I'm going to burst this one all the way to half forward, but that's not the right call because he'll land it straight in the hands of Lockie Hill, who is going to quickly find Andronako with this kick, and the Borough can sense an opportunity here to put some more pain on. He's in the centre square, still defensive side. He's just going to measure one towards half forward, and it was all Bulldogs there again. And now where he set off half back.
So Mapleson has it. He's going to go down the wing on the outer side where he finds Tardio tucked up right against the boundary line. Short kick to Hunt, who's unopposed. Get a handball back to Mapleson, who send it inside forward 50. Heatley's going to fly. Sievers standing in the hole, gets first hands to it, but Heatley wrapped up by that man Sievers and Will McFawn. The 2 players who've had the main job on him so far in this semi-final. Tap comes down from Smith and out of defensive 50 for Greensborough. Might come straight back, but Brindley does well to take the mark and shove his opponent out, but tackled immediately, and
50.
The 50 was paid. Brindley hadn't been called to play on just yet, and the North Heidelberg defender laid the tackle. So a big opportunity here for Greensborough to go forward.
Brindley has been a brilliant cog in the Greensborough transition. Just on that outer side, a number of times in this match, he's just been able to take the big marks or really impact the contest and help Greensborough get further up the ground.
He's going to send the kick inside forward 50. McCubbin's there, but he's outmarked by Matthews. So the last line of defence for North Heidelberg going to go across goal. Actually, this is Matthews who takes the mark. So He's got it on the last line of defence where he does find Mapleson up the ground. He's going to go inside the centre square over the head of Jesse Tardio. He's going to be beaten to this ball by Ferranato. Does well to get the handball to Johnston. Sends it inside forward 50 over the head of his teammate in Fisher. Matthews does well to get the spoil, and North Heidelberg. Fisher paddles it backwards, but umpire judged it a bit of a scoop and a throw. So Matthews will have it on the last line of defence where he finds McDonald for North Heidelberg.
So McDonald sets his side on centre wing, broadcast side, 2-on-1 in favour of Greensborough. Harvey grabbed it but slipped as he gained possession of the footy. And then Sherkop, that's a very high hit on Ben Ham. And rightfully so, Ben Ham will win the free kick. Spears a ball towards half forward, looking for Fitzgerald. So Marty Fitzgerald still about 70 out from home. He's got McCubbin calling for it in the pockets. Now players get to that pocket, and that's the way he goes. Kicks it inside 50, and the mark will be paid to Tom Brindley. Well, he flew from a couple deep, and Brindley, who's done his best work in the defensive half, now has a chance to go back and extend this lead for Greensborough and make it 4 straight goals against the wind. He'll kick from about a 30-degree angle, Tom Brindley. Only his 5th game for the Borough, of course, after spending some time with Richmond VFL in 2024. As he starts his approach now, Brindley from 45 metres out. 4 straight goals for the Borough. It has been a monstrous display from Matthew Hyde and his men in the last 10 minutes of this game, and it could be telling in their hopes of advancing in the 2024 final series. Greensborough are now 11-6-72. North Heidelberg at 8-4-52. The margin is at 20 points.
We said just before half-time we didn't know who was the best player on the ground. It was pretty even for both sides, and waiting in this third quarter for someone to break this game open, and it looks like it's Tom Brindley. As you said, Tim, a couple of moments ago, he's been a key cog in their transition ball, but now taking a mark inside forward 50 and getting that reward.
So back in the middle then, North Heidelberg under all sorts of trouble right now as they try to push this ball forward, but they're confronted on every occasion by Greensborough midfielders. They have been superb. Hasler in there again at the bottom of the pack to cause another stoppage. It is getting close to time on now in this third term, and Greensborough had a 4-1 goal quarter against the wind. Smith tried to clear it, had a fresh airy. Florence goes in hard, lost his footing. Umpire says, give it to me. What do you do if you're the Bulldogs, Tim? Because this is definitely not the way they would have hoped this quarter panned out.
Well, they need to find a way to get an effective ball inside forward 50. All their entries at the moment have just been cut off by Greensborough.
Hurt gets first hands to this one, but can't take clean possession. Aiton Delaney gets a handball over now. Andronacco takes it on the wing. Broadcast side in front of Wallace. Finds Hasler at half forward. Almost looks to move on quickly, but decides against it. Now going to go inside forward 50 for Greensborough. Mark is taken. Is it Fisher once again? I think it will be. And he will line up for his 4th goal of this semi-final.
Oh, he's putting his name forward for a best on-ground performance as well. If he manages to get 4 goals in, it's an extraordinary performance from Ben Fisher inside forward 50 today. He's been great with his contested marking. His forward craft has been brilliant. It's like he's been playing in that position for ages. He has a chance to inflict more pain.
A brilliant move from Matthew Hyde to send him forward. No angle to speak of. That's his worst kick of the afternoon. Just came off the side of the boot. We gave him the big pump up, but he's sprayed that one out of bounds on the full.
Jeez.
So he stays on 3 goals for the game. And it will be North Heidelberg to relieve out of defence through Matthews. Finds the skipper in McDonald there in the pocket. He'll go long. He's got White there, but Johnston with the big fist almost landed up in the grandstand. But out of bounds in front of the Greensborough bench, where we'll have a stoppage. About to tick into time on in this third quarter, and it is a 20-point lead to Greensborough.
So boundary throw in about 60 metres out from the Greensborough goal. Ball gets tossed up. Smith almost to Andronacco. In fact, it will be. Got the handball, was looking for Glenn, intercepted by Harvey, but he overran the footy. Goes over to Hasler. Clever handball to Harrison Andronako. 40 metres out. Kicks it inside, and McCubbin. Zach McCubbin with the mark. He's looking for his third. And he can push this lead out to 26 points. It has been a terrific term for the men in green. They have not let any obstacles get in their way. Zach McCubbin coming from the side to take that mark. And he will start his approach now and look to extend this advantage incredibly as we tick towards three-quarter time. McCubbin starts his approach. No problems at all. 4 straight for Greensborough. And maybe this is the term that will decide their fate and push them to a prelim final next week. They move to 12-6-78. North Heidelberg are 8-4-52. We're 20 and three-quarter minutes gone, third term.
Well, everything is going the way of the Borough at the moment. Just seems like with that momentum, they're just willing to run a little harder, use those bursts of pace, and just going for it. Every time they get the ball, they're looking to wheel and go and really damaging the Bulldogs with their pace. And not only are they moving the ball quickly, but they're moving it effectively. All those kicks inside forward 50 seemingly hitting a target every time.
So Whitnell and Smith go at it. Whitnell takes it out of the ruck, gets it handball to Wallace, who'll send it inside forward 50 for the Bulldogs in the Heatley direction. He gets first hand onto it, but Will McFawn steams away out of defensive 50 where he goes with a long kick to Ham. Beats all comers to the boundary line and will be thrown back into play. And Will McFawn getting pats on the head from his defensive teammates for the job he's doing on Parker Heatley so far in this semi-final. Ball back into play, out of side. Whitnell gets front spot, shoved off it by Smith and does get the free kick. So worked his way to the front row was Whitnell.
Ooh.
Yeah, 50 metres. I don't know what Brodie Glenn was thinking. No one called play on. No one looked like they were going to play on. But he just ran it, Dane Whitnell. And now to stop the rush that has been coming for Greensborough. Dane Whitnell's marched to 20 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Might even be a better angle than that. And he will look to put through his second, could become the first multiple goal scorer of the day for North Heidelberg. And does just that. So North Heidelberg desperately needed a response. And it comes through the big man in Dane Whitnell. He kicks his second of the day. North Heidelberg moved to 9-4-58. Still a 20-point deficit to Greensborough, 12-6-78, 22 and a half minutes gone, second quarter.
So it was 5-2 in the first term, 5-2 in the second term. It is again 5-2 in this third term. This time, though, it's Greensborough that has inflicted the pain. 5 straight goals in between the Bulldogs, 2 so far. The first multiple goal kicker for the Bulldogs today as well in Dane Whitnell. The margin now sits at 20 points at the 23-minute mark of this third term. It's Howard that gets the tap. Roving it is Whitnell, but Ferranato says, look, I'm here as well. And lays a big tackle to cause a stoppage inside the centre square. He's been ferocious with his tackling today. Here's Howard again asserting himself in the ruck contest. It's Jobito that will get the clearance for North Heidelberg. Doesn't get to James McCubbin. Parker Heatley ground level. Able to get away. Got the handball away to White. Brodie White uncertain. Finds Hunt now that's got a heap of space. Hunt snaps towards goal. That's 2 in a minute for the Bulldogs. A much more promising passage of play from North Heidelberg. Liam Hunt becomes the 9th individual goal kicker for North Heidelberg. And now it's at 14 points. And, well, the Bulldogs are starting to make their move, Tim.
They certainly are. And it's been a bit of damage limitation in the last couple of minutes from the Bulldogs, scoring 2 within just about a minute. And it's been the theme of the game, just scoring goals in bursts from both teams. And the Bulldogs will hope this quarter can last as long as possible. We presume it will be a long one. It's been the most goals kicked in this quarter already. And last quarter did go over the 30-minute mark. So Bulldogs know how important this centre clearance is now.
Whitnell gets the tap down, but it's Panham roving it for Greensborough. He'll send them back inside forward 50. And the intercept mark taken by the North Heidelberg captain in Kyle McDonald. He has it right on the half-back flank. on this broadcast side at Preston City Oval. Just going to go with a short kick. It's a good one. Finds Kyle Maynard, who's going to move it on. Wheels onto the left boot quickly. Suleiman's there, but running in and taking the intercept mark is Jack Johnston. We've seen that from him for so many years here in Greensborough colours. And he's just going to move the ball out of defence. A big fly at the back from Fisher. Takes a strong mark on the NFNL logo. And we'll move it on straight away to Ferronato. He'll go 15 metres further forward to a teammate in O'Sullivan, who will look to now go inside forward 50. Sells Tardio one way, goes the other, now inside forward 50, but no player, no teammate there, and the relieving mark taken for North Heidelberg by Whitnell.
He'll go to the outer side, and the Bulldogs look to start a chain going from defence to attack. They'll go laterally with the kick. Made a bit of work for Wallace, but he takes the mark at true centre half back. He finds Smith. No, fumbled it. Straight to Sievers. Greensborough all on their own inside 50. It's McCubbin. Takes the mark 40 out. He's got Hasler in the pocket. That's where he'll get to. Will it get to Hasler? It will. Costly fumble from Lockie Smith. Will result in a shot on goal from Hasler, albeit a difficult one. But 26 minutes now gone in this third term. A bit of magic here from Jackson Hasler will be required to push this margin back out to 20 points on the stroke of three-quarter time. Hasler's kicking from 40 metres out. Has he worked that one okay? No, it's missed to the near side. So Borough moved to 12-7-79. North Heidelberg at 10-4-64. The lights have now been turned on at Preston City Oval with the dark clouds ahead, which makes sense. We haven't had any rain, touch wood, in this game so far. And the Bulldogs will clear their lines, and I'll look to go towards the broadcast side. I'll send it deep to the wing. 3 Greensborough players flew. One of them was McFawn, who decides now to lay the tackle on Brock Cherkop. I'll have a stoppage on the NFNL logo here at Preston City Oval. True centre wing broadcast side. Howard's tap. Panham couldn't spin out of trouble well enough. Got it over to Howard again. Towards the boundary line is Fitzgerald. Hasler now with the footy. He's happy to see that ball over. And we'll have a boundary throw-in. Greensborough wanted a free kick for Hasler, getting a bit of attention after that ball went out of bounds, but we'll have it between wing and half forward for Greensborough. Ball gets tossed back into play. Howard getting the tap. Ferronato making some space again. Gets this ball towards half forward. McCubbin goes over the back. Brinley got the handball away. Another shot on goal coming from Glenn. And that 20-point lead is restored again. Brody Glenn has kicked his third. It's actually 21 points now. Greensborough 13-7-85. North Heidelberg at 10-4-64 into the 28th minute of the third term. And the Borough not letting North Heidelberg get any closer before three-quarter time.
And that is what Brody Glenn does best there. Just as soon as the ball comes to ground in the Greensborough's forward half, he just can use that electric dash of pace. And no one was catching him in that situation as he received the handball and calmly slotted into goal to score a crucial goal for the Borough.
So back in the middle of Preston City Oval, Florence tapped down to Wallace, who's set upon straight away by Andronacco. And they've been doing well to win the ball out of midfield, North Heidelberg, but can't get anything going forward. There's a siren sounds for three-quarter time here in this semi-final. It is Greensborough with that 21-point lead heading into the final change. 13-7-85 the Borough. Lead North Heidelberg 10-4-64.